So today, I'm reading through Genesis chapter 1. I absolutely adore Genesis chapter 1. It is a wonderful and marvelous chapter in the Bible, and there's so much revelation packed in. Today, I was reading from the Passion Translation, and something caught my eye in this translation, and a different thought came to my mind. Here is the word. Genesis 1, verses 29 and 30. And God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant growing throughout the earth, vegetables, and every fruit-bearing tree with its seed within itself. They will be your food. They will also be food for every animal and bird and every creature that moves on the ground, every creature with the breath of life. And so it happened. And what caught my attention from these two verses was seed bearing, or the fruit, the seed within it. Yesterday, I asked my mom to pick up some oranges for me. And she got the little mandarin oranges, and I ate one, and it was pretty good. There was no seed in it. And so when I get home, I'm going to have to check the bag to see if it's a seedless variety. Here's the thing. It has been progressively over my lifetime, I have seen more and more fruits being created that are seedless. Seedless oranges, seedless watermelons. I'm sure there's other seedless stuff I don't eat a lot of. Sometimes because I can't. But seedless. And the thing about seeds is, within a seed is life. Within a seed is the potential to reproduce after its kind. Within a seed, because when God talked to the earth and said, bring forth, first he said, bring forth grass. And then he said, bring forth herb yielding seed. That means the result of the herbs, after they have reached a full cycle, they bring forth seed. And the purpose of the seed that the herbs bring forth is to produce or reproduce a plant that looks like it. And then he asks the earth to bring forth trees with fruit whose seed is in the fruit. Once again, the purpose of the fruit is that it becomes a nurturing and feeding ground. It becomes a protection for the seed, as well as nourishment for the human body. Fruit feeds. You know this because if fruit sits for too long in your house, you start to get fruit flies. And fruit flies feed on the fruit, the overripe fruit. I feel like the purpose of fruit flies feeding on fruit that is overripe is to remove the flesh so that the seed can be exposed. Because as the seed is exposed, it is able to fall back to earth And earth is able to use the seed from the fruit to produce more trees after its kind. So this becomes a cycle. This becomes really the life cycle of a plant, of an herb, of a tree. Seed is produced. Seed is planted in earth. Earth brings forth from the blueprint and DNA of the seed that which it was like after its kind. With the advent of science, with the modification of certain foods to remove the seed, we are removing the potential for continuous life. When you buy and eat a seedless watermelon, what you are eating is either very young and they pick it before the seeds fully grow, or it has been modified to the point where if the fruit reaches the end of its life cycle and is planted or given back to earth, it no longer has the ability to reproduce after its kind, because the DNA, the blueprint of what it is, no longer exists. And I know sometimes seeds can be annoying. You got to pick them all out and this, that, and the other. But here's the thing. When you eat a fruit or an herb yield seed, what you realize is there is life there. And the life that is present in the fruit, the life that is present in the vegetable, the life that is present in the herb, then feeds and nourishes the life that is within you as a person. Also, here's the thing. When you are born, you are made a combination of the seed of your parents. You have the seed of a mother, the egg, the seed of a father, the sperm. Together, they combine, and this blueprint that is within you becomes, you become, and you grow from a blueprint that is now made from God. And you ask, how do I know this? Very simply, because God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. So there's something about the union of a male and a female reproducing, planting their seed and watching it grow, that takes on the image of God. You never hear of a person who is not created from the seed or grown or reproduced from the seed of just a male or the seed of just a female. It is in the combination of the two where life becomes the reflection of God. And this is important because God gave dominion to his created. So when you are created, when you are a product of the reproduction of a man and a woman, you not only do you bear the image of God, you also can have an inheritance that God gave to his creation, which is dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the cattle and the livestock, and every creeping thing. This is the importance of seed. So I caution you. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you to consider, to think about, to go to God. What happens to your body if you're no longer eating things that have the ability to reproduce life? And people wonder why there's been an uptick in the kinds of diseases and growth. Yes, some of it's data, but science has advanced. We now know more. And in that advancement, somehow, some people thought, oh, it's important. Let's modify what God has created so that there's no longer seed, so that it no longer reproduces. Or let's, where hybridize and cross-pollinate and mix two things that are not the same to see what happens. Because if we mix these two things to see what happens, my question is, does it then become something that can reproduce life or something that is dead after it's finished its life cycle? Like, it is a fruit that you are eating, but it is dead. What did they say? Is it the mule that's the cross between the donkey and the horse? I think it's the mule. I gotta look it up. And it cannot reproduce after its kind because it was created from things that are two different kinds. But humans can reproduce. You can have someone from North America reproduce with someone from China, and a seed is born that can reproduce after its kind, because a person and a person make a person, but a horse and a donkey make a mule that can't reproduce. I want you to consider the importance, consider the implications of what happens when you eat things that either, number one, no longer have seed. Without seed, they cannot reproduce. So either they're too young to reproduce, or they've been modified to the point where they've become barren and impotent. Or, number two, also consider within you, what are you reproducing? There has been a shift, movement maybe, There has been a challenge, um, maybe war, a battle. There's been a battle against reproducing in people. Sterilization, vasectomies, hysterectomies, tube side, that's a vasectomy, isn't it? I don't know. Either way, like, things happen so that a person can no longer naturally reproduce. Their seed has nowhere to go. So it begins to die off inside of their body. I submit to you that if you cannot physically reproduce, you can spiritually reproduce. I submit to you that reproduction of some sort, having a seed within you that you plant on the earth so that the earth reproduces after your kind, helps you to fulfill the destiny, the plan that God has for your life. Just consider it. Consider, number one, what you put in your body. Does it have the potential? Before the whole processing and dying and all of that, does it have the potential to reproduce? Does it have the potential of life? Was life still in it? Like the Bible says in Leviticus, not to eat the blood of the thing, because that's where the life is, right? So, like, we don't eat the blood of living creatures, of animals, because the lifeblood, the life is in the blood. If you had no blood in your body, you would have no life. Just consider the implications of what you eat when seed has been modified so that it no longer produces seed at any point in its life. And number two, consider, pray about, think about, ask God about what in your life, where in your life are you reproducing after your kind? Are you giving the seed of your knowledge? Are you giving the seed of your finances? Are you giving the seed of your words, your mouth? Are you giving the seed of your eyes, what you've seen? Are you giving the seed of your nose, what you smell? Are you giving the seed? Are you planting it in the earth so that the earth can bring forth after your kind? All right, that is my thought for today. My mini sermonette, exposition of the word. That's just what came to mind to you today. Just consider and have a wonderful and blessed day.